To me, frames are the finishing touch. Anyway, I believe that frames do have to accompany their portraits. I've done both ways. The question is going to be, do you charge your prices with frames or without frames? We have done both. Originally, portraits did not include frames. Then I changed the prices to them including frames so that nothing left my studio if it wasn't finished. Then my price point got so high that adding frames put it way out into the unbelievable category, so I had to eliminate them. But it's a very easy sell to update and add them after the fact. Because once client sees the work and you take them into the frame room and you show them, it's not that hard to sell a frame. The next question is going to be, but I work out of my home and I don't know if I can, how would I sell frames? Just like the projection attitude I have with framing, now that I know what I know, I would have just got 10 to 20 corners and had 10 to 20 mats and a small box. And as an artist, it's how you present it. If you say, all I have are these, you're not going to sell them. If you say, I have personally selected the most beautiful frames that complement my work, and I can assure you that we can select something here in this collection that works perfectly well with what I'm going to do, you've sold a frame, I promise you. It's just your confidence, honestly. You don't need 100 frames. It's not going to make a difference to the client. There really are strong frames. That's why we use GW molding. They are the best. They have beautiful frames and molding, and they're an elegant, elite source, and it keeps us, it gets us what we need. And they have great customer support as well. This is our frame area. You can see I actually had a metal wall installed, so they're all on magnets, so the whole wall is riveted. It looks really kind of cool. That's the main frame wall over there, and then to the left there's actually an open metal wall that we can actually, because they're metallic, we can put the print up on a ledge and then put the frame corner on it. So sorry I can't show you there. We do have the frame mats as well. I told you that what you show is what you sell. We show big wall portraits in our studio. That's all we try to show. But in the frame room, we do have what we call an art product wall. And that is one wall dedicated to small. They're not small, but they're smaller image sizes. And these are some of the product lines that we've talked about, like the Baby Steps, the 9-Up, the Birthday Cake series. These are all things that are very popular. So when a client is in the room, they can actually visually see the size of that product and that it's going to work for them. So again, if you work out of your home, don't panic. I worked out of my home too. Framing can be done. You just have to maybe scale it back a little bit, but present it as you have these exclusive frames that are perfectly matched to your work, and it works just as well. These are just samples of the different frames and of GW's service. So you can get them both matte and without mats. It's interesting, when I started in Colorado 20 years ago, matting was huge. Everybody wanted matted prints. That's virtually unheard of anymore. I mean, the collections that are multiple images are mats, but very rarely does a client buy a wall portrait with a mat. So my opinion is I would rather sell more inches of portraiture than of matting. So once in a while they look really artsy and cool with the mats, but for the most part we sell large wall portraits in frames. We also sell a lot of gallery wraps and metal's a little bit less, but we sell a lot of unique wraps, float wraps, things like that that require no frames at all, and those are nice as well, just to give clients variety and different looks. Here's a big one. If you are going to have a successful business, you have to have a payment plan, period. If you want to make the kind of money that we talked about making in photography, you have to have a payment plan. Just because a client doesn't necessarily, you may think that they can't afford you, doesn't mean they can't afford a payment plan. Payment plans give people the opportunity to purchase what they want, to receive their dream, but to pay it off at a reasonable rate. Now, a couple things about payment plans. You should, first of all, I'll explain how it works, but with the payment plan, the mistake I made is when I decided to go to a payment plan version, I think I bought too many furnitures, because you know how they do the only $24 a month for the rest of your life. And with interest, you've paid for it 16 times. Well, our payment plan doesn't have interest. So of course, when I built my payment plan, I sat down and did all my cool little charts and graphs and the magic charts, and I figured out a plan where people could pay like $50 a month, or I thought I was doing them a favor, making it economical. But if a client comes in on a newborn portrait session, spends $2,000, and you charge them $24.95 a month, they'll never come back to you. They're going to be paying for those baby pictures for years and years and years, and they can't come back to you. So that was a huge mistake, because if you ask people if they want to make a payment, and you give them choices of what size payment they want to make, which one are they going to choose? The smallest one they can, especially if you don't have interest. So that was my big mistake. So eventually we eliminated that. Now, this is it. The actual words we say when a client's order is total. Because remember the credit system and everybody that's standing on the fence? This is how it works at the end of the sale. We are going to tell them what the cost is. We are going to state that. So when the end of a sale comes, we proudly and confidently turn to the client and we say, all right, so with everything you've ordered, these beautiful collections, this set, we describe everything, this, and this, all of this, plus your bonus items, it looks like your total is $3,000. Now, basically we say, it looks like your total is $3,000. How would you like to pay for that? And then what do?
Shut up, say nothing.
Say nothing. Shut up. Because there is a chance that they're going to say Visa. And you're going to say cha-ching. And there is also a chance that they're going to say, oh, do you have a payment plan or anything like that? Now what are you going to say? You're going to say, you know what, we sure do have a payment plan. I'll tell you what, how would you like to pay half today and half next month? Some people will say, great, that's perfect. What if they say, is there any way we could break it up to smaller payments? We'll say, all right, that's no problem. How about $1,000 today and then $1,000 each month for the next month? No problem? Great. Our goal is to take the number and cut it in half first. If that doesn't work for them, then cut it in thirds and so on. We never say, okay, what works for you? They'll tell you $24.95 a month is about right. So don't give them the option. You just basically go with half, and if half isn't good enough, then you can work with each individual client to make it work for you. But the more money you collect, the better off you are. The next question is going to be, do they get to take home the pictures after they place the order? Is that it? Did I get it? You'll find it, I promise. If that is always the question, if they are on a payment plan, do they get to take home the orders? Yes, in fact, they do, because they sign a legal document that basically we collect their credit card and they sign a legal document that says that we can charge them each month. They have the choice of the 1st or the 15th. They will always choose the one that's farthest away from the current day. They pick the day they want us to bill them, and we will bill them on that day. We collect 2 credit cards. If the first credit card, basically it's a legal document that says if this card doesn't go through, we're going to bill this card. If this card doesn't go through, we are going to take you to collections agency. Now, it's just a legal document, and they sign it, and it's not a problem. And it works. And the question is, do we ever have problems with it? Absolutely not. Once in a while, their first credit card doesn't work, we bill the second one. Very rarely does the second one not work, and if it doesn't, we contact the client and they take care of it. And that's the bottom line. I've never had to go to collections. I'll never have to go to collections. There's a rare occasion where somebody can't pay, and that's a personal issue that we'll work out with them. But the bottom line, it works. So we do have a legal document that we actually collect, and they have to sign a signature, and it gives us all, again, I'm like a documents chick, but this is 24 years, you know, so these are things that you can start and do, but you have to have some sort of way to give your clients options. You must take credit cards as well. And with things like Square now, there's no reason that everybody is not taking credit cards. People can't spend cash like they can in other years.